The scene starts when two guys appear in the middle of the night in a forest during the full moon. One has a patch on his left eye, and the other one has silver long hair. The guy with the patch on his eye addresses the other one as a brother. Meanwhile, the silver-haired guy says, "Let's vengeance begin." In the middle of her dream, Yui is seen to be under an apple tree. She hears a voice saying, "Eve." When she asks who that person might be, she suddenly wakes up. The day or night has not yet started, but as soon as Yui wakes up, she sees the triplets, Ayato, Laito, and Kanato, waiting for their breakfast to get out of bed. The three expresses their thirst for Yui's blood and forcefully order Yui to let them drink some of it. Ayato is first to get near Yui and is almost ready to quench his thirst. However, Kanato comments that he should not be greedy and must share Yui's blood to them too. Laito adds that Yui's blood belongs to everybody. The triplets get nearer to Yui. Ayato is facing her, Laito sitting behind her, and Kanato smelling the tip of his hand. When they are about to bite the young maiden, suddenly the scene is cut when Reiji appears. Meanwhile, in the limousine with the other boys on their way to night school, Reiji criticizes the triplets for such a disgraceful act early in the evening. Ayato is infuriated by Reiji's statements and says he's a bother when they were almost getting in the good part. Kanato agrees with Ayato and asks Reiji what gives him the right to berate them. Laito then adds that Reiji should have just joined them earlier. Laito says that Yui is writhing in agony while they all swarm upon her, and just thinking about it gets him excited. While the triplets fantasize of how it could have been awesome if they were able to drink Yui's blood, Subaru expresses his disgust of Laito's very descriptive words. On the other hand, Shu, in his earphones, comments that everybody is being noisy and they are ruining his music. The brothers start to argue with each other. Kanato tells them to be quiet because they are upsetting Teddy. Meanwhile, Ayato can no longer suppress his thirst for Yui's blood and is ready to pounce at her. Once again, the strict Reiji reproaches Ayato's action and says, "Ayato, this is not the place for such conduct. You should be ashamed." Ayato responds, "Shut up and stop getting in my way," but then was told by Subaru to shut up. Laito followed up by saying, "Well, we are cramped inside the car at the moment. Don't make a fuss, Ayato-kun." Then suddenly, Kanato starts blaming Yui for the arguments they are having within the family. Out of nowhere, their car suddenly speeds up and starts swerving when they crash into a tree and the car explodes. Luckily, the young vampires are quick and are able to leave the vehicle right away. Ayato carries Yui while escaping, so the young maiden is not hurt. As they stand upon and look at the burning car, Reiji and Shu have a hunch that this is not merely an accident, but someone had planned on it from the beginning. On top of a cliff, they see four guys wearing the same uniforms as theirs while giving them a sinister look. One of them looks at Yui and says, "Eve." As they exchange stares with each other, the smoke from the burning fire blew towards the group of young men on the cliff. Then suddenly, they disappeared. Laito says that they seem to be like them, but Reiji points out that they are not pure bloods. Then Shu comments that this might get annoying. Ayato then concludes that this is a declaration of war. Back at the Sakamaki Mansion's Rose Garden area, as Yui wanders around, she thinks of what the guy from before means when he said Eve. Then suddenly, one by one, the boys from before appear in front of Yui as the garden succumbs to the fog of the night. Yui runs away as fast as she could, but only to end up with the same person who calls her Eve. Yui is back in her dream. She once again hears a voice saying, "All will be made clear in the course of nature, Eve." Yui wakes up in a different place. She is on a sofa, and together with her in a place that looks like a living room are the boys from last night that caused their car crash. Yui is so surprised and scared because she finally meets those unfamiliar faces from last night. And the way they welcomed her is very unexpected. They introduce themselves one by one. The first that introduces himself is Ku Mukami. Ku has a handsome, beautiful face. He has a blonde hair with bangs covering the top right side of his face, and his left eye is light blue and his right eye is red. He appears to be the friendliest among the four boys. The next is Yuma Mukami. Yuma is a very tall young man with messy light brown hair that he ties up in a bun and some stands hanging out from the back. Yuma is the rebellious and violent type of the four. He immediately got pissed off when Yui started asking her whereabouts. After him is Azusa Mukami. Azusa has gray eyes and black hair with lighter gray tips. He has a pale complexion with a noticeable scar on the bridge of his nose, along with one on the lower bottoms of his left and right cheeks. Azusa has bandages wrapping his arms and neck. Azusa gives an impression of someone who is clingy and an extreme sadist and masochist at the same time. He even asked Yui if she likes pain, which made the young lady scream in terror. Lastly, the fourth who introduced himself is Ruki. Ruki Mukami is a handsome young man with short, ruffled hair colored with black on top and white on the tips. He has 3 black piercings on his right ear. Ruki is the one who keeps calling Yui Eve. Ko also informs Yui that they are in fact brothers. They inform Yui that she is currently in their mansion and moving forward will start living there with them. Yui then panics and tells them that it is impossible and she needs to go back home. Then Ruki interrupts and stops her. He makes Yui realize that she has no home to go back to, and the place she thinks is her home is the Sakamaki mansion where ill-mannered vampires just treat her as livestock. Yui responds, "But you're all vampires too, aren't you? So it would be the same if I stayed here." Ruki got infuriated by what Yui just said, so he responds, "I do not appreciate you comparing us to them. Unlike them, we at least have some sense." Yui answers back that there's no way she can believe what Ruki just said. Meanwhile, Ko starts to act very different from his earlier friendly attitude. This time, he tells Yui that they don't really care if she is convinced or not. Ruki then adds that their plan only requires them to have Yui's blood, or so to speak, Eve's blood. Yui once again is reminded of her dream, and then now realizes that she's the Eve they are talking about. Ruki grabs Yui's face and while looking at her, he says, "As the one who possesses the blood of Eve, you should be able to find him without error. You will find Adam." As the night deepens, Ruki reiterates to Yui that she is now part of their household and is going to live with them moving forward, that as long as she is Eve, she has no choice but to obey their rules. He leaves Yui in an empty bedroom to ponder everything he just said. Back at Sakamaki residence, Ayato is bothered that he cannot find Yui anywhere. Laita comments that Yui might have really already ran away from them and asks Subaru if he has any idea. But Subaru angrily responds, "How should I know?" Shu assures the boys that she will come back eventually. Standing by the door is Reiji, who hopes she will really return. Back at the Mukami residence, as the bell rings, Yui dashes outside her room looking for a place where she can get out. As she runs through a hallway, a short flashback of her dream pops into her head. The bell rings again and she collapses on the floor. When she looks up, she sees Ruki looking down at her and is brought back to his room. Ruki tells Yui that she can try to escape if she wants to, but only punishment awaits her if she does. On a table, Yui sees what looks like a picture frame of Ruki's family photo. When Ruki notices Yui looking at it, he immediately stands up and flips it down. While insulting Yui and saying that she is just a mediocre girl, he comes closer to her and starts to bite her and sucks her blood. While Ruki drinks Yui's blood, from the outside of the window, it is shown that there is a bat watching them. After having a taste of Yui's blood, Ruki says, "As long as he wishes for it, we will continue to desire your blood." As Yuki wakes up groggy from her dream of trying to reach the apple tree, she prepares herself for another day or night at the Mukami mansion. She goes right away to the mansion's dining room and catches Yuma and Ko fighting over a shrimp tempura. Ko wants to get the last piece, but Yuma stops him because he wants to apply the idea of equal shares with their family. Ko, on the other hand, insists that the motto is first come, first served. As he tries to reach for the shrimp tempura, Yuma asks Azusa if he would like to take it. He responds that he will take it if it was given to him. Then Yuma tells him that the question at hand is if he wants it or not. Then Azusa says he wants it. As the boys fight over one piece of shrimp tempura, Ruki brings another plate of shrimp tempura for them to feast on. He also reminds the three to not start a ruckus while in the middle of their meal. Ruki then invites Yui to eat with them. Yui learns that all that food was cooked by Ruki. She also tells them that they are all very close with each other, and it is kind of refreshing to see such a relationship between brothers. After the boys eat, they start to get ready for school. When Yui remembers that she also needs to prepare, Yuma informs her that she will not be coming with them. Ruki states that the Sakamaki brothers will also be at school. Ko then mentions that Yui will be staying at home together with Azusa. Azusa creepily responds, "Just Eve and me. I'm so happy." As the three bid farewell to the clueless Yui, Ko thoughtfully reminds her that Azusa is quite troublesome, so she should be careful. Back in her room, Yui stares at the window and is surprised by Azusa when he suddenly appears behind her. He wants Yui to come with her to his room because he wants to show Yui something. In his room, he showed Yui his collection of different kinds of knives. He informs her that these are all his treasures. Then suddenly, he asks Yui if she likes him and if she could hit him. Yui refuses to do so. This makes Azusa think that Yui hates her. As he corners Yui into a wall, he tells her that she has the same scent as him. He tells Yui that the knife he's holding is newly sharpened and he will use it to pierce Yui. Yui frighteningly said no. After seeing Yui's dislike of what he said he would do to her, he then requests Yui to cut him instead and hands the knife to her. Yui panically declines, but in the process, as she resists Azusa, she accidentally cuts his right hand. Suddenly, a flashback of Azusa's past was shown. It showed him as a young boy covered in scars, being bullied by other kids. As they hurt the young Azusa, in his mind all he could think of is, when he bleeds, everyone is happy. Then he just lost it and started laughing while being hurt. He got the kids weirded out by his reaction. He also begged them to hurt him more, but the kids were too creeped out and just left him in a dark alley. From that moment until now, Azusa speaks the same words, which are, "Hurt me more, hit me more, please give me a reason to live, proof that I am alive." In the current time, he expresses his amusement of what Yui did to him by accident. Yui refuses what he just said. She drops the knife and tries to leave. However, Azusa pulls her back. While she faces the wall, Azusa pounces behind her and moves her hair away from her nape and bites her. Azusa finally has a taste of Yui's blood. Yui, even though she wanted to resist, could not, because Azusa is forcefully pressing her against the wall. Yui begs for the sadistic, masochist vampire to stop, but Azusa instead takes another bite. Then Yui tells him that she is hurting, and he answers her, "The greater the pain, the better, right? I'll make you feel more, because you are my precious Eve." Yui then slightly loses consciousness, and suddenly behind them is Yuma, telling Azusa, "That's enough." After Azusa welcomed back Yuma, he left the poor Yui collapsed on the floor after losing her strength from what just happened. On the other part of the Mokami mansion, Ruki notices the bat that is watching over them. Back in Azusa's room, as he looks at his fresh wound from Yui's accidental cut on him, he then states, "You really are the same as me." He removes the bandages from his left arm and calls it Justin. He asks if he could become Adam and if he can be of use to him. That night as well, the bat was shown looking at Yui as she slept silently in her bed and afterwards flew away. After being part of the Sakamaki household for some time, in another chapter of Yui's life, she might be expecting a new unexpected and unwanted fate bestowed to her, correlating with her existence and a new group of vampires' ceremonial beliefs. This time she has been having dreams of an apple tree in a different heaven-like dimension. Also, an encounter with the Mokami brothers has begun when they purposely make the Sakamaki car crash and for kidnapping Yui for their own plans. As Yui strives to know the reason behind her kidnapping, she gets to see the other side of the Mokami brothers. Aside from being vampires like the Sakamaki brothers, their relationship is way different from theirs. After staying a night at the Mokami mansion, she notices that they are much closer with each other and a lot friendlier. More mysteries are yet to unfold as Yui struggles to survive, this time with the Mokami brothers.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.